Hi. Most people start UPSC the wrong way, and that's why they struggle. But don't worry, I'm here to help you. In my previous video, I decoded the syllabus. Now let's simplify the syllabus of UPSC Prelims Paper 1 so that every one of you are able to understand the syllabus and strategy. Now let's see the first one, current events. Current events are, current affairs is basically everything happening around us. Like if India, signs a deal with any country, any Arab country for oil, or if there is a war between Russia and Ukraine, or you can take oil prices, suddenly go up globally. So all of these are, part of current affairs. Okay. So you need to understand how all these things affect India. Like, petrol price, inflation, trade, put together, you'll see a connection, right? So everything connects back to these news events. So this is how you need to read current affairs. So let's move on to the next one, that is history of India and national movement. So it is basically understanding what led to those events happened in the history. What are the root causes? For example, let's take British rule increased, taxes on farmers, and that led to a revolt like Indigo movement. Okay. Now you can see what are the factors. What is the fact here? British rule, it is generally raised taxes on farmers, and these led to Indigo movement. Or I will take other example, Gandhi's salt march. Gandhi's salt march, it wasn't just a march, it was a protest against tax on salt, something even common people used daily. So it's more like understanding why people acted, and what are the root causes. You need to understand and you need to analyze it. Okay. Chalo, let's go to the other topic. So the other topic is geography. So geography is basically understanding real life around us. For example, I'll take why does Chennai get floods every monsoon but Rajasthan is dry? What is the reason behind that? Or what else? Why farming depends on monsoon or monsoon rains every year? So what are the root causes behind that? So, and you can take even things like El Nino. You will see in the news when monsoon gets delayed. Now, let's move to the other topic, polity and governance. So polity is just how India is run. Okay. For example, when Parliament passes a new law like GST or digital data protection law, or I'll take recent one. This FCRA bill, Foreign Contribution Regulation Act, and you have CAPF bill. You need to understand all these things. These are all part of polity. So UPSC can ask who passed it, how it became law, or what constitutional support it has. So even things like Supreme Court decisions, Supreme Court decisions, or you can take Election Commission rules. All comes under this only. Now let's see economy. Economy is just money flow into your life, money flow in the nation. How money flows in the nation? It has, again, guys, it has many factors. I'm not going to discuss here, but you'll get an idea, right? You'll get an idea about what exactly economy means. So for example, when petrol prices increases, it's not random, right? It can be due to crude oil prices. That's it. It's that easy. If petrol price rate increases, that is related to the global crude oil prices. If these increase, obviously this will increase. ठीक है, you'll have other example, inflation. You know, when vegetables become costly in the market, or budget announcement like tax changes or free schemes. So everything we hear in the news about prices, job growth, that is economy. Okay, now let's move to the other topic, that is environment and ecology. So this is basically the nature, and alongside to also read about the current affairs. So for example, COP climate summit. Okay, where countries discuss about climate change, and you have, I'm just giving you a brief overview of environment and ecology, and not only this but all other subjects. I'm just giving you overview. Okay, so the other example include news about tiger population increase, or Amazon forest fires, or even cyclone warnings, and pollution. We all know Delhi is the top, and all of this is UPSC environment portion. Okay, let's we'll read about science and technology in the upcoming videos. So guys, you need to remember here that it is just awareness. Science and technology, the UPSC doesn't want the deeper understanding, but UPSC want how well you are aware. Okay, so for example, ISRO launching Chandrayaan, or other projects, other space projects, or AI tools like ChatGPT becoming popular, or what are the other alternatives for that, or what are the big giant companies preparing other models, LLMs and multiple things, or let's say vaccines during COVID, or biotechnology, and so UPSC doesn't ask deep technical stuff. Okay, just it will ask why it matters for society. It will ask how well you are aware. Okay, so this is science and technology, and the other one is general issues. These are this is a tricky one, I say, because here everything gets combined. For example, let's say a government scheme. Okay, a government scheme for women's safety. Let's imagine this scheme introduced by our government. So that includes, here we'll see polity. Okay, there is a law behind this, and we'll see funding, which is part of economy, and we will also see it is part of current affairs, right? So here a government scheme for women's safety includes polity, which is passed by a law. There is a law behind making that scheme, and there is a funding which comes, the economy comes into the frame for that, and it is also part of current affairs. So one question can mix 2-3 subjects together. So this is what the general issues portion discusses. Okay, so when you look at UPSC like this, it's not about studying 7 subjects separately. It's about understanding one thing: how India actually works in real life. Okay, and if you want to learn everything like this in a simplified, beginner friendly, you need to follow this account. The videos I'm going to post will break everything down in a very simple and understandable way. So especially for beginners who are just starting out, all of my videos will help you guys. So stay tuned for CSAT simplified video in the next. And thank you for watching.